Right, controversial opinion time. Property investing isn't for everyone. I know. I run a property education business. I teach people how to invest in property. So why am I sat here telling you it might not be for you? Because it's the truth. I'd rather you hear this now and make an informed decision than waste years of your life and thousands of pounds chasing something that doesn't really suit you. So today, I'm going to tell you the signs that property investing might not be your path. And if you recognize yourself in any of these, that doesn't make you a failure. It makes you self-aware. Let's get into it. The first sign that property isn't for you, you need quick wins. If you're the type of person who needs to see results fast, who gets frustrated when things take time, who wants instant gratification, property is going to drive you absolutely mental. Because property is slow. Finding the right deal, slow. Getting a mortgage, slow. Doing a refurb, slower than you think. Building equity takes years. Building a portfolio takes even longer. If your timeline is I want to be financially free in 12 months, property probably isn't your vehicle. Could you build something quickly? Maybe. If you've got huge amounts of capital, if you're doing risky strategies, if you're working on it full time. But for most people, property wealth builds over years and decades, not months. There's nothing wrong with wanting faster results. Maybe you should be looking at businesses, at trading, at other investments that move quicker. But don't get into property expecting speed, because you'll be disappointed. You'll make rash decisions trying to force things, and you'll probably lose money overall. Know yourself. If patience isn't your strong suit, property might not be either. The second sign, you don't like dealing with people. And I mean really don't like it, because property investing is people heavy. You're dealing with estate agents, mortgage brokers, solicitors, surveyors, contractors, plumbers, electricians, builders on the whole, letting agents, tenants, accountants, and about 1 million other people. And not all of these interactions are pleasant. Contractors who don't show up, tenants who complain, estate agents who, other estate agents. If you're someone who finds people draining, who hates conflict, who doesn't want to have to chase people or to have difficult conversations, property is going to exhaust you. Now, you can outsource a lot of this, getting a letting agent, getting a project manager, but that all costs money and it still requires you to manage those people. There's no version of property investing where you don't have to deal with people in some form. Compare that to, say, index fund investing. You've set it up, it runs, you barely have to talk to anyone. Much lower people stress. So if you are an introvert who values peace and quiet, or you just find dealing with people exhausting, property might cost you more in mental energy than it gives you in returns. And that's okay. Different investments suit different personalities. The third sign, and this is a big one, you're not financially stable yet. If you're in debt, personal debt, credit cards, whatever, sort that out first. If you don't have an emergency fund, build that first. If you live in paycheck to paycheck, property investing is not your priority right now. I know this isn't what you want to hear. Everyone wants to believe property is going to save them from their financial situation. But if you're not stable, property investment can make that worse. Seriously worse. Here's what happens. You scrape together a deposit, you buy a property. Everything seems fine, right? Then the boiler breaks, £2,000. Where's that coming from? Then you have a void period. How are you covering the mortgage? Then the tenant damages something, another unexpected cost. If you don't have a buffer, if you don't have backup funds, if you've already stretched thin, one bad month in property could tip you over the edge financially. Now, honestly, I'm not trying to crush dreams here. I'm trying to be realistic. Get your personal finances sorted first. Build your emergency fund, clear your debts off, get to a point where you've got a little bit of breathing room. Then look at property investing. Because when you invest from a position of financial strength, you make better decisions, you're not desperate, you can wait for the right deal, you can handle problems without panicking. That's when property really works. The fourth sign, you can't handle uncertainty and risk. Property investing is full of unknowns. Will the refurb stay on budget? Maybe. Will the tenant pay rent? Probably, but it's not definite. Will property prices go up? Over the long term, it's likely. Short term, who knows? Will interest rates go up and affect your mortgage? Possibly. Everything in property has a question mark attached to it. And if you're someone who needs certainty, who needs guarantees, who needs to know exactly what's going to happen, property is going to give you anxiety. And look, I get it. Some people are risk adverse by nature, but that's not a character flaw. But it does mean property investing, which involves taking on debt, dealing with tenants, managing renovations, all of it might not be right for your nervous system. There's safer ways to build wealth. Pension contributions, low-risk index funds, high-interest savings accounts, lower returns, yes, but also much lower stress. You have to ask yourself, is the potential return worth the stress for me personally? Because if property investing is going to keep you up at night, if every decision is going to be agonizing, if every problem is going to feel like a catastrophe, it's not worth it. No amount of money is worth your mental health. And the last sign, and honestly the most important one, you don't actually enjoy it. You like the idea of property investing, the financial freedom, the passive income, the portfolio. But the reality, looking at properties, running the numbers, dealing with the refurbs, managing tenants, you find it boring or stressful or just not that interesting. Here's the thing, you're going to be doing this for years if you want it to work. If you hate the process, those are going to be some miserable years. I genuinely enjoy property. I like finding deals. I love solving problems. I like the challenge of turning a rough property into something beautiful. Do I enjoy every part of it? No. Some of it is tedious. Some of it is frustrating. But overall, I like it. It suits me. If it doesn't suit you, if you're only doing it because someone told you it's a good investment, or because you think you're supposed to, or because you can't think of any other way to build wealth, stop now. Find something you actually enjoy, or at least something you don't hate. Because forced misery for potential money isn't a good trade. You may as well stay in your 9 to 5. Life is definitely too short to spend it doing things you hate, even if they're good investments. Right, so there you have it. 5 signs property investing might not be for you. You need quick results, you hate dealing with people, you're not financially stable yet, you can't handle uncertainty or risk, and you actually don't like it. And if you sat there thinking, oh God, that's me, that's okay. Property isn't the only path to wealth. It's not even necessarily the best path for everyone. It's just one option, one tool in the toolbox. Know yourself. Be honest about what you're good at, what you enjoy, what suits your personality and your life. And then choose the investment strategy that actually fits you, not the one that looks good on Instagram. Right, that's your permission slip to not do property if it's not for you. And if you are still interested after all of that, brilliant. Subscribe because I've got loads more property content coming your way. I'll see you next time.